TD Podcast. We are your hosts, Tony and Dak. And in today's episode, we're going to be bringing you our last podcast of the 2025-26
It's
NFL
the
season.
final countdown.
Pardon
Fact.
him and
It's
his
the final
weirdness.
countdown.
Um,
It's the final countdown.
Seahawks and
Super
Patriots.
Bowl.
It's a rematch. None of the same team, well, players. I don't think there's a single player that overlaps as it was like 10 years ago when they played. But it's still going to be a very interesting game. A lot of people have this written off as a easy Seahawks win. I am not in that party, as we'll get into. Um, Getting into our first and 10, we're going to be breaking down the Patriots and the Seahawks and how they got here. Um, I'll be breaking down the Patriots, and I'll jump right into that. It's pretty simple, actually. The Patriots' explosive play rate was phenomenal this year. They actually led the league in explosive plays, according to, I don't remember where I saw it, but not Chat GPT, the AI overview on Google told me. So that means everything's true. Um, the Patriots' explosive play rate, which is a um, rush of over 10 yards or a pass over 15 yards, led the league in 15.8% of their plays, which is pretty pretty dang good. And then their top five defense and points scored is also really beneficial and important. And their point differential. You ready for this? What if you had to guess what the Patriots' point differential is? What would you say it is?
I'm I'm seeing it on screen right now.
Oh, so you're
But
cheating.
before this, I would have probably said like in the 80s or 90s.
Yeah,
Something like that.
it's plus 170. The Patriots have outscored their opponents by 170 points. That is ridiculous. That's another reason why I don't want to hear about this cupcake schedule. You don't have a cupcake schedule and then you always just destroy the league. It's not that's not how it usually happens. Mike Vrabel is out there taking heads and putting them on stakes and letting them know he's still one of the best coaches in the league. That's why he won Coach of the Year. That's why Drake May should have won MVP, and he might go into Levi Stadium and win Super Bowl MVP and tell the NFL, hey, you made the wrong decision. And I would totally agree. That's why the Patriots are here, and that's what they're here for. And I'm here for it.
So the Seahawks went 14-3 this year. Um, their only three losses came from a combined of 9 points, which is pretty remarkable. They
Mm-hmm.
started the season off with a loss to the Niners and then ended the season off by killing the Niners and then ended the Niners season by killing them again. And now they're in the Niners stadium looking to win the Super Bowl. If this is going to leave a really bad taste in your rival's mouth, might as well win the Super Bowl in your rival's stadium. Um, their defense has pretty much got them here the whole year. Sam has played well, and JSN has played well, but their defense has kept them in a lot of games, and has pretty much shut down other teams to where that has allowed their offense to figure things out. Um, and you know, the rush defense is great. And their pass rush defense is phenomenal as well. Leonard Williams, Demarcus Lawrence, many others. McDonald's got this team playing well. The defense, their schemes, he throws in some stuff on Saturdays. He's always coming up with new things. And, it's pretty much allowed this defense to be what it is. Um, they've played really good opponents throughout the playoffs. Really good teams. You beat the Niners and then you beat the Rams. You beat two teams that are in your division. I think that division, the NFC West, is the best division in football, and I think that's what's gonna, put you in a situation to be better prepared in the Super Bowl versus a team like the Patriots, where I question how they got there in the postseason, but you know it is what it is. You're still there. Um, but again, the Seahawks defense is phenomenal, and they have the best receiver in the NFL, as he was, as we mentioned in the awards, offensive player of the year.
They have the receiver with the best stats this year. I'm also not of the mind where, hey, this receiver had the best year, so now he's the best receiver. Baloney. You're not going to get by me with that.
That's
Justin
best receiver
Jefferson,
stats this year.
CeeDee Lamb, Jamar Chase, all three of those guys are better. Devontae Adams might still be up there too. Not saying he's better, but he's
Definitely on the 1 yard line.
don't sleep
He'd
on that
be
old
better.
man because he'll put you to sleep.
He might be sleeping.
Um, Now, outside of our 1st and 10, let's get to our meat and potatoes. I don't remember what do we call this? Red zone, goal line. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Anyways, the next segment of this episode of our podcast, we're getting into the keys to the game and thoughts on the matchup as a whole. Dak, you want to kick us off with this while I try and remember what this segment's actually called?
Yeah. So I think the key here is for me is the Seattle Seahawks have to get their offense going. This Patriots defense isn't a slouch. Okay. Your defense is going to put you in a situation to your offense can get going. And I think it's all about your offense. Your offense is what won you games clearly, but the defense is what's kept you in the games. So essentially, the defense has won you games if you look at it that way. But I think JSN's got to have at least 100 receiving yards to really put this team out there. If he gets the ball in space, it's going to be scary. If he's taking safeties over the top, I think he's going to be able to. I think Christian Gonzalez as a corner is going to really have to communicate well with the safeties there to keep him in check. And if you are keeping him in check, there's little slip screens that Kenneth Walker can take. He can take those for 20 to 30 yards on open field as well. But when I look at this from a trend standpoint, the last time there was a new pope, you know who won the Super Bowl?
Probably the
The
Patriots. They won a
Seattle,
lot.
the,
Oh,
the Seattle Seahawks in 2015. Or sorry, not 2015. Yeah. No, 2018, when they beat the Broncos.
hmm.
One of those two. They beat the Broncos. They beat the brakes for the Broncos that year. And the other time that there was a new pope, they made the Super Bowl, and that was in 2005, I believe. So
Them and the Catholic
interesting.
Church just right there with each other, I guess.
Another interesting note. Do you remember the last time that the receiving leader in the NFL for yards made the Super Bowl?
Probably the Rams.
Yeah, Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
Every time that the receiving leader in the regular season makes the Super Bowl, that team goes on to win the Super Bowl. It is 5 for 5 right now, making it could be 6 for 6 with JSN as well. Cooper Kupp won Super Bowl MVP. I'll get to that later on in the episode. But Patriots perspective, you got to take care of the football. You got to play your game. You got to take care of the football. You can't turn the ball over with this rush defense. Drake May's going to have to use his legs. He's going to have to create outside the pocket. He's going to have to rely on him being on the same page as your receivers and your tight ends. What can you do off the spot? Because the Seattle Seahawks are going to take you and they're going to move you off the spot.
Little scramble
If
drill.
their O line can't hold up and Drake May ends up looking like Patrick Mahomes in the 2021 Super Bowl, flying around, trying to make plays, the Seahawks are going to have this one wrapped up.
I would say my keys to the game are similar. Really play to your strengths. For the Seahawks, it's keep your defense moving. Allow your defense to really dominate the game. Not necessarily keep them on the field because you don't want to gas out your defense, but put them into positions where they can excel and keep the Patriots offense on their toes and really dagger them with the passing game as well. If you can not only decimate them defensively by keeping them out of the end zone, but also just pound them over the through the air, that's just going to kill their morale, and it's going to be a mental and a physical game where the Patriots just can't keep up. Patriots side going to be kind of similar. The Patriots need to destroy that defense, run that ball down their throat, demoralize them, let them know, hey, this wasn't just some cupcake schedule here. Play that physical football that Mike Vrabel's teams are known for and really punish them and let them know that they picked the wrong fight. Not that they really had a choice, but um, as for the New England Patriots defense, they have to get pressure on Sam Darnold. I have not been a fan of Sam Darnold this entire season. I'm still not 110% sure that he's the guy. If he goes out and wins the Super Bowl and shows that he can be a stellar quarterback, I'll take it back. I'll, uh, yeah, I'll take it back. But as of right now, I think that if the Patriots get pressure on him, that's the winning combination for the Patriots this year is keeping that defense on the field and keeping Sam Darnold, not Sam Darnold, keeping keeping Sam Darnold uncomfortable. It'll make him win them the game because I don't think he can do that. I really don't. Um, yeah, so really play against the Seahawks' strengths, I guess, is what I'm saying. Keep the defense gassed and make Sam Darnold win the game and see where that gets you. If I'd imagine it has you lifting the Lombardi at the end of pivoting to our next section, we are bringing back a fun part that we've been out of for a little bit. If you've been familiar with our podcast, we have a series called Tailing with TD, and it's been a while, but we're bringing back bets. These are just Super Bowl bets, little props, fun stuff for you guys to throw in. We're each going to give 2 prop bets, place, and hopefully we'll win you guys some money going into the next season. Dak, you want to kick us off with your props?
Yeah, so there's the Super Bowl, right? You throw the kitchen sink. What else do you have to show? What else do you have left? You're throwing everything to win the game. And when you throw everything, you could possibly allow someone else to throw the football. Cooper Kupp has hinted at posting a picture on social media, him throwing the football in practice. Doesn't mean he's going to throw the football, but take the over on 2.5 players to throw a pass in the Super Bowl, meaning 3 players would throw a pass. Obviously, the 2 quarterbacks are already there, but if one of the quarterbacks gets hurt, boom, you got another leg there. It's at plus 125. I'm easily hammering this. Nice little easy money, I think. To make a little easy money. Like I said, 2.5 players over. There's been some touchdown passes from outside quarterbacks. You look at Trey Burton threw it to Nick Foles on the Philly. You look at Jawan Jennings throwing that rifle touchdown to Christian McCaffrey 2 years ago. I don't necessarily know if there was another player that threw a pass last year in the Super Bowl, but that was just a blowout. So
Didn't Cooper
I
DeJean throw a
think I'm gonna.
pass? That might not have been during the
No,
Super Bowl, but I
he
think
got a
he did.
he got a he got a pick six last year.
Yeah,
So
and then somebody also threw a pass to Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. I think it might have been that same one against the Eagles. But my first prop is a touchback punt. It's gonna happen. Plus 125. I
yeah,
can't
this is
imagine there's
wild to me.
a punt that isn't a touchback in the Super Bowl. So that's my plus 125 prop. And my other one is the total game sacks being plus 5.5. I think these defenses are too good to not have 5.5 sacks. And the Patriots' offensive line has not been stellar as of late. And the Seahawks O line has been better. But if I was a betting man, I'd say it's going to be really, really hard to keep those dogs off Sam Darnold. So plus 5.5, giving you
Just want
plus
to remind you
100.
guys. As we get closer here. Sam Darnold saw ghosts against the Patriots.
Yeah. Oh,
Patriots.
and Milton
The
Williams also in the
Patriots.
Super Bowl last year had, I think, 2.5 sacks. So imagine if he's just a Super Bowl dog. He's on the Patriots.
Same. My prop is the Seahawks to have more combined rushing and receiving yards than the Patriots. I just think there's so much more firepower offensively on the Seahawks side. I think doesn't necessarily mean who's going to win the game. This is at a minus 135, so you're not necessarily winning all of your money, but I think this is kind of a safer bet because of the firepower that's there. I think JSN could easily give you 60 yards on one play, and you're like, well, here we go, and then your drive home and end up with 3 points. So that's my second prop bet.
Yeah.
But here's our insane prop bet that we're going to get into.
His
This
insane
is my
prop bet.
way
I
out
did
there.
not have my hands on
This
this
is my
one.
way out there. A kickoff return for a touchdown is plus 2,200, meaning $1 can win you 23. $10 could win you 230. Pats haven't allowed a kickoff return all year. Okay, get it. The Seahawks have allowed two. The Seahawks have a really good return team, and I've seen it firsthand.
Rashid
Rashid
Shaheed,
Shaheed. And the
future
Pats have
Raiders
a decent
receiver.
return game. The Pats have a decent return game as well, as Antonio Gibson ran back a touchdown week 2 against the Dolphins. So, wouldn't be surprising if you saw a kickoff return for a touchdown anywhere out in this game. $1 turns into 23. That seems pretty cool, pretty nifty. It's something that you just throw out and say, "Oh, here we go. Maybe we can win something." And that's just a fun little out there prop bet.
Yeah. Our more
Or
realistic one.
and green should be the Gatorade color. Just saying.
Our more realistic one that we both combined on was consisted of a touchdown score, a rushing prop, receiving prop, and QB prop. I think Drake May has a touchdown rushing or receiving. That could be fun. Dak mentioned it earlier, but the Seahawks defensive line is aggressive, and I can foresee a Drake May scramble for a touchdown in the red zone.
Brock Purdy was moving all over his feet the 3 games that he had to play.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if Drake has to do the same thing, but Drake's not afraid to take off and run. Brock Purdy's trying to look and do a lot downfield.
Especially with that shoulder
Drake
injury, he
take
might
off
be
with
trying
his
to take
phone.
it easy or play more careful too. Sam Darnold interception. I mentioned it earlier. Still don't really trust him.
Patriots ghost.
Kenneth Walker over 2.5 receptions, and Matt Collins 27 plus receiving yards. $10. Excuse me. Sorry, wins you 218. I think that's a solid bet. I don't know about the receptions, but do think I like Matt Collins 27 plus. I think he's a sleeper player to have a big game in the Super Bowl. Could you imagine Matt Collins winning MVP?
I want to go look at his odds now.
I guarantee you he would be barefoot in that ceremony.
The interview would be he's going to be barefoot showing up to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that man is he walks
fungus
around barefoot all the time.
Imagine he gets foot fungus before the game starts.
No,
that stadium is just
Getting into our final section of this podcast, our winner and correct score, and our Super Bowl MVP. This is the crowning moment of the NFL season. We've made it through this is our first NFL season as the TD podcast. We've made it through a full season officially, starting in like April of last year. And we're here now in the Super Bowl. It's crazy to think we've made it here. But Patriots and Seahawks, Super Bowl.
Plus 18,000 is Matt Collins. $1 would win you 181. $10 would win you $1,810.
That'd be insane.
Placing 10 cents.
This is a hard decision, but you know what? I'm gonna make my younger self really upset right now. I'm taking the Patriots 24-21, and Drake May wins MVP and really gives the NFL a real hey, now you see me, man. And you know what? I'm here for it.
Glad we're both making hard decisions here. I have to take the Seahawks. It's hard for me to say, being a Niners fan. That's just really, really rough. And the Seahawks winning in Levi Stadium.
Yep.
Levi Stadium. It hurts.
Forgot your own stadium's name.
But like I said,
crazy.
I almost said Candlestick, but Candlestick
What
has
is
that? The old stadium. Anyways, I have to stay with the trends. The Pope thing that I mentioned earlier. We're 5 for 5 on receiving yards, leaders going in Super Bowl, and I'm gonna go and say that JSN at 500 is 500 plus odds to win Super Bowl MVP. I'm going to say that Seahawks are going to win. Jason is going to win the MVP. Gatorade color is going to be lime green at plus 275. And my correct score, Seahawks 27, Patriots 18.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The NFL season capped off right there.
Well, we're going to have one episode to recap.
Yeah, we'll have a recap, but um, that's the final preview of the NFL season. Hope you guys enjoyed this season. During this off season, we'll be bringing you a bunch of fun episodes. Maybe go over some of our other episodes that we kind of previewed into the season. Maybe re-rankings of our NFL divisions and seeing how it panned out for us. All that fun stuff.
Watch me kick this man's tail in college football.
Hey, buddy. Yeah, we might be bringing you some video game content as well, just to spice up our off season, keep it fresh and keep it fun while the NFL season drags along. Immaculate Grid, Weddle, throw in some rankings. Always gonna have some draft stuff, all that fun stuff. Maybe some rebuilds as well. And as well, we will also have a fun idea of bringing in like making our own drafting from teams in different spots of the NFL draft. So drafting a team from picks 1 through 6, 7 through 15, etc., etc. So those are things you can keep your eye out for the TD podcast. Just because the NFL season's over doesn't mean we're leaving your screens. But keep that in mind as we get into the late parts of the off season, and we're still grinding for you guys. As always, like, subscribe, comment. Let us know who you think's going to win down below. And we'll see you guys next season. Peace.